Have you ever wondered what it's like playing a club sport or being part of a team that you love and cherish? Let us look at Temple's own clubs and how you can be a part of them. In this episode of the Daily Hoot, we will be exploring 3 key areas where Temple University excels in club sports and recreation. It's all coming up next on this special TUTV production. Hello, I am Rohan John and welcome to the Daily Hoot. There are about 25,000 students on Temple's main campus. That does not include faculty and staff. Of this group, about 4,000 in the Temple community are involved in campus recreations, and this includes the many club teams. Today, we will discover how Temple University students go beyond traditional learning with their involvement in a wide range of club sports. In today's show, we will discuss how a student can join these club sports, what it takes to be part of a team, and the struggles that come with it. Additionally, we'll be looking at the notable achievements of a team in particular, the baseball team. Here, we will be looking at the factors contributing to their success. I'm excited, and I'm sure you will be too when you learn more. Now, some Club Team 101. There are 29 club teams at Temple, ranging from volleyball to taekwondo. When it comes to club teams, your major does not matter. It is open to a wide variety of students. They might not be as competitive as Temple's 19 D1 varsity teams, but they do pack a punch. For students that are looking for more of a competitive atmosphere than intramural sports, club teams are the way to go. They play other schools, they travel, and many compete for championships and titles. Now that we know some basic facts about club teams at Temple, let us toss to Daily Hoot reporter Andrew DiPietro as he gives us an inside hoot on the ins and outs of club sports at Temple University.
From highly competitive to instructional, or maybe even recreational purposes, Temple club teams are where amateur athletes can find their home while in college.
When you come to college, you need to find your home away from home, and a lot of times you're finding your lifelong best friends being part of these club teams. And club is awesome where it's still competitive and gives these students something to do outside of class.
From sports like volleyball to sports like ultimate frisbee, Temple has a very wide variety of teams.
We have your very traditional sports, and then we do have some non-traditional sports that you may not see in high school: fencing, badminton, taekwondo, karate.
These sports are housed in a bunch of different facilities in and around Temple's campus, such as Pearson at McGonigal Hall, TU Pavilion, Temple Sports Complex, Star Complex, and even the Ambler campus about 40 minutes north of the city. It is simple to join a club team. All you have to do is to visit the Temple Campus Recreation website, where club team registration is found. From there, you might be required to pay an entry fee depending on the team.
Some clubs do charge dues. We highly encourage them to. As a university, we can only give them a certain amount of money. So for some clubs, they need to operate on a high budget. So they all are required to give some type of due.
And if your main worry is about not being good enough to play, worry no more, as most non-traditional sports don't make cuts, mainly because most players never played such a sport until college. These teams are also required to submit a constitution, which is a document that outlines the requirements of being in a club team, what's expected from officers and club team members, and a mission statement, which is usually centered around having fun.
When the season ends, we care more about if we had fun, and we value more the relationships you make with others, and this is also a really good outlet for people, so we place that in higher value of necessarily being the best team in the league. But in the moment when we're in a playoff game, the priority is to win.
The dynamic of club teams is an interesting one. They aren't as competitive as D1 athletics, but these club teams still maintain the competitive energy, all while gaining new relationships. And often, there's an added appreciation for the game.
So I like the actual playing because I've been playing volleyball for a decade, so I would miss it if I didn't play. But club team at Temple specifically, I like the community. There's 22 of us, so it's just 22 friends. It's We compare it to a sorority, but you get to like play a sport, so it's fun.
Reporting from Pearson at McGonigal Hall, I'm Andrew DePietro for the Daily Hoot.
Wow, now that I know how to sign up for a club team, I may have to take a closer look at which club team I can beat people at because frankly, I am not great at most of these. All jokes aside, we have a packed show and we're just getting started for you all at home. After the break, we will be looking at some students who are flexible with their schedules as they balance school and being part of a club team. It's not easy running such a team as a full-time student. And later in the show, we also plan to highlight one of the more successful club teams here at Temple. So don't you dare think of changing the channel. The Daily Hoot will be right back after this.
Bye-bye.
Hi. Hoping for a crisp breeze to help keep you alert. Oh, he took a sip of water too. That'll probably help. You were probably gonna turn down the radio too, so you could focus, right?
Probably okay isn't okay.
Right.
If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
I think the water line is what really drove it home. I blew on him.
I'll never forget the day our landlord called and said, read your lease. No pets allowed. My owner tells him my dog ate the lease, but that didn't work. And now I'm stuck in a shelter. But this pit bull is ready for a new crib. I'm loving, loyal, and play well with others. So don't be intimidated by all my muscles, because the biggest one I have is my heart. That's right, I said it.
Tonight, along the Texas Gulf Coast, utter devastation. Harvey barreled ashore overnight, packing 130-mile-an-hour winds, blinding sheets of rain, and the treacherous storm surge.
Harvey can't mess with Texas. So donate now to help make Texas whole again.
Hi all, and welcome back to the Daily Hoot. We still have a lot more to get to today, so sit tight and enjoy. Now to switch gears. It's not easy running a club team. Most club teams are run by other students who are juggling schoolwork, a job, a social life, and now their club team. There's logistics and expenses just to name a few of these challenges.
I feel like post-COVID, it's been a struggle because I feel like in general, a lot of people stopped doing their sports during that time. So why would you go back to your sport if you're not going to be like an actual collegiate athlete?
Since I was young, I've been a swimmer. I started swimming in club when I was 8 years old, and then just kept swimming in middle school, kept swimming in high school. I swam for my high school team, continued club then, and when I came to college, I didn't want to do a D1 sport. I wanted to do something lower commitment, something with a little more camaraderie. You know, I still really enjoyed sports. I've been an athlete my whole life, so I decided to join Temple Swim, and it's been a lot of fun.
I think one thing I've really learned is how to like organize and like lead a group of people really well, is because I've had to like work with my peer officers, and we've all had to figure out how to do a lot of logistic-based things, such as like figuring out how we're going to get to places, how we're going to travel to like our competitions.
In order to like rent buses or anything, that's not in budget. Straight up not in budget. Like we have a budget. We can use it however we want, but it's not worth using it for like that type of thing. So we drive ourselves to meets, but not many of our members have cars.
One thing Campus Rec does not do is provide us transportation. If we go to a swim meet, like we go to Pittsburgh, we need to drive ourselves. Some other teams, you know, get buses available to take them to different locations, but for us, we need to transport ourselves.
We're lucky enough that, I don't know where the money comes from, I really don't, but all 31 club sports here get a decent amount of funding. We still have to work very hard as a club in order to get to big competitions and stuff, but I would say comparative to other schools, it's very good.
University does really well. So here at Temple, we have this campus recreation. It's kind of like a group of adults that work together to help support our swim teams, or help support all of our club teams. They help provide us with money, transportation, funding, and it's kind of like its own little organization, separate from any of the other sports. It's club only.
We go to Temple Fest every year. I mean, that does a decent amount. We also have an Instagram page, and we're accessible on email, so a lot of people do email us with questions. And I feel like social media is a bigger drawing point. We also are big on encouraging new gymnasts. We actually don't need any experience to join this club, so you guys can join club gymnastics if you want next semester.
COVID really took a toll on Temple's club teams, but as you can see, most are overcoming a real tough few years. If you're wondering how you can give back to club teams, donations are a great way you can support the many teams here at Temple. All you have to do is go to Temple's campus recreation website. From there, click on the club sports page, scroll down, and click on donate. That's how easy it is to support your favorite club team and your peers here on North Broad. Mental health is often not discussed as much when it comes to student life, whether that's in high school or college. Our Daily Hoot reporter, Randy Lane, is here on the show to discuss mental health and how athletics can help. Hello, Randy. How are you doing?
Hi, Rohan. I'm doing all right. How are you?
I'm doing fine. So,
thank you so much for having me on the show today to discuss this amazing organization, Morgan's Message. So basically, Morgan's Message, I'll read their mission statement for you. Their goal is to amplify stories, resources, and expertise to strengthen student-athlete mental health. So they want to build a community for the athletes with peer-to-peer conversations and provide outlets for advocacy.
Wow, that's really good. So what is the story of Morgan?
So Morgan's story is a very unfortunate one. Morgan was a sophomore in her sophomore season, and she got a knee injury. And yeah, so she had rehabilitation, physical therapy, and that really takes a toll on you physically, but also mentally as well, because she couldn't play her sport that she loved. And then sadly, on July 11th of 2019, Morgan did take her own life.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
It really is, but the great thing about it is that her family took this up as an opportunity to not only grieve their daughter, but to also make sure it doesn't happen to other athletes, student athletes especially, nationwide.
So who's running Morgan in the Temple?
So Temple actually has, which is amazing, of course there are administrators, but also student ambassadors.
Okay.
So of course, you can really get the best, advice for students from a student point of view. So these ambassadors include former collegiate athletes, parents, even athletic staff, and actually it's now been extended to club teams as well.
That's pretty good. So how can someone like a student use Morgan's Message?
So they can use the many different outlets that Temple offers. So you got TU Well, which is the app, Totalman Counseling Services, which I'm sure many students have heard about. Also the Headspace app, which is not affiliated with Temple in any way, but for this specific organization, Temple student athletes specifically are able to use this app, which is like a wellness therapeutic app, which can connect you to different therapists.
I've heard of the Headspace app as well, and I've heard a lot of celebrities were also endorsing this. So have you ever used this app?
Yeah, I actually have in my personal life. I find it very helpful, honestly. I believe everyone should test things out, see what resources really work for you.
That's pretty good. So is there anything else you want to talk about Morgan's Message?
Just the steps it might take to really let someone know that when they are struggling, they can find help. So, let them know that they're not alone and that you actually care. Show empathy. You might not understand their situation, might not be in it yourself, but try to really comprehend what they may be going through. Use active listening when you're having conversations with them, and just all around remind them that this won't last forever, that this feeling is just temporary.
Again, thank you, Randy, for joining us. Mental health needs to always be taken seriously. If you or a loved one may be facing some issues, never hesitate to let someone know about it, so that the smallest problems don't end up leaving the greatest scars. This show just keeps getting better, but we have to take another break. Coming up, a club team that's got it all figured out. The success of Temple's club baseball team is coming up when the Daily Hoot returns.
Well, Thomas, you've got prediabetes.
But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have prediabetes. Big time.
Tonight, along the Texas Gulf Coast outer devastation, Harvey barreled ashore overnight, packing 130-mile-an-hour winds, blinding sheets of rain, and a treacherous storm surge.
Harvey can't mess with Texas. So donate now to help make Texas whole again.
Bye-bye.
Get up safe.
Hi. Hoping for a crisp breeze to help keep you alert. Oh, he took a sip of water too. That'll probably help. You were probably gonna turn down the radio too, so you could focus, right?
Probably okay isn't okay.
Right.
If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
I think the water line is what really drove it home. I blew on him.
Welcome back to the Daily Hoot. My name is still Rohan John. When it's all said and done, club sports should be fun. A time to compete, win some, lose some, and enjoy it all with friends. One team that's all figured it out is Temple's club baseball team. Daily Hoot reporter Luke Lewis has the bases covered with one of the best teams out there.
When it comes to club sports at Temple University, there are some teams that have a reputation well beyond main campus as being one of the best. Baseball is one of those teams. The Owls won last season's conference championship at a record of 18-6.
Oh my God, all right, final game, let's lock in. Everybody's up off the bench, everybody's in the game, everybody's getting loud, and as the game progresses, it's not like we slowed down.
Yeah.
We got louder because we just wanted it more so. We're that close to the finish line. We're going to go out there and we're going to win this thing.
I wouldn't say we were very nervous. I think we were really excited to see what we could do. We were all so excited to be there because we had been in the conference regional last year and we had lost. And so this year, I think we were all just very determined to win it all that year.
With this success comes a promotion. The Owls moved up divisions to D1 this season. Now they'll have to play some of the top teams in the region, such as Westchester and Delaware.
Moving up to D1, I'm excited, to play a more structured program. You know, we're playing people that did exactly what we did. They got, moved up to Division I, and I don't want to go down. No one wants to go down.
Winning the conference championship isn't all about luck, and Temple baseball team knows it. It takes skill, a great group of guys, and hard work to get the job done.
Staying competitive, I think baseball is all about competitiveness, and that really helped us keep our competitiveness up. And so it was more of a fun atmosphere, and we kept ourselves together, and we always played for each other, and that really was what made us, such a well-bonded team.
And that's why this club team doesn't often have issues with finding players. There are tryouts, some players are cut, and the ones left over make up this winning culture.
We don't have a coach, so me and Drew basically are the coaches of the team. We have to make the lineup, we have to run the practices, we have to make sure that everybody is on our roster on the NCBA site.
The Owls practice Mondays and Thursdays from 8:30 to 10 at night, and they have games in the fall and spring semesters as well, even though the spring is the primary season where every game counts.
So we have 2 days indoors over at the pavilion. It's sort of smaller, but we have what we need.
Temple's club baseball team stands together as one. They practice like a team, they play like a team, and most importantly, they win like a team. And with this dedication and determination, the sky is the limit for this team's success next season.
Come on out, support the team. We're a good group of guys. We have fun. You come to a game for an hour. You'll stay. You'll want to stay, maybe watch 2. And stay tuned, because we're going back.
I'm Luke Lewis, reporting for the Daily Hoot.
It may not be Red October anymore, but man, that made me miss the baseball season. Let's stick with this baseball talk. First, he was in our report, and now he's here on set. Let's welcome in Daily Hoot reporter Luke Lewis to talk about what this baseball team has to look forward to this spring. Hey, Luke.
Hey, Rohan, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. It's great to have you here. So tell me, what we just watched the Temple baseball video and saw what made this team so successful on and off the field. Being up so close and personal with this team, what impressed you the most?
Well, Rohan, this baseball team is really a great group of guys. Being able to talk with Danny and Drew, both co-presidents at the time right now, you can just truly see how determined this team is to win. The family atmosphere on this team and every guy being able to go out there and lay it all on the field for one another is really what brings this team together. I think this mentality of being out there for the guys, you know, not going out there for yourself, but being out there for a team mentality is really what is driving these guys to greatness. And even with moving up to the Division I league this year, I think this team mentality that they have is really going to keep them at the top of the leaderboards.
You can definitely tell this team wants to win it all. Speaking of jumping up into a new division, how do you think the Owls will fare up against some of their tougher opponents this spring?
As of right now, the Temple baseball team has a record of 8-2, while being 7-0 in their division so far. So as you can see, in the new division so far, they have been more than holding their own. But we all know what makes or breaks a team is some good old-fashioned spring baseball. Temple faces many good teams in the spring, which is their real season, from Drexel to Loyola, but the team on Temple's schedule in the spring that I believe they should have circled is Delaware. Delaware is currently 7-1 overall and has a record of 6-0 in the division. This Delaware team best matches up against Temple, both in the hitting and fielding departments. Their record speaks for itself, as they are also the only other undefeated local team. Delaware won't go down easy, and it will be a battle between the two teams in the weekend of April 15th, which is also the last week of the season. This series will definitely be must-watch college baseball, and also have postseason implications. Rohan, thank you for having me on the show today.
Luke, it's been a pleasure. We appreciate the knowledge. Thank you, Luke. Unlike baseball, some club teams don't have set schedules. To keep track of your favorite club's team, make sure to follow them on social media. Most club teams are active on Instagram and post upcoming games or meets. Temple Campus's Instagram at TU_campus_rec will post the weekend slate for all club teams competing on the respective weekend. Boy, we learned a lot today. First, we learned how to sign up for a club team, then how to support any of the many club teams Temple offers, and even highlighted the success of the baseball team. But that is all the time we have for you folks today. I hope you enjoyed your time watching us hoot about club teams. My name is Rohan John, and this is the Daily Hoot, signing off.